This is our presentation, and we are going to talk about the topic war and peace. We are going to talk about what war is, why does war happen, the most famous wars, Nelson Mandela, and Robben Island.
First, I'm going to talk about what is war. War is an organized and often prolonged conflict that is carried out by states or non-state actors and corruption and economic destruction. War should be understood as an actual international and widespread armed conflict between political communities and therefore is defined as a form of political violence and intervention. The set of techniques used by a group to carry out war is known as warfare. An absence of war is usually called peace.
Why does war happen? The reason why people go to war can be narrowed down to two wide reasons: either to be better their way of life, or to protect their way of life. People who would join the war against terrorism would be seeking to make their life better by removing a giant source of fear and worry.
Then we're going to talk about the most famous wars of all time. And World War II was a long and bloody war that lasted for like 6 years, officially beginning on September the 1st, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland. And World War II lasted until both of the Germans and the Japanese had surrounded to the Allies in 1945.
World War I. World War I was sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914 and ended with the Treaty of Versailles in 1919.
Civil War. The American Civil War took place between 1861 and 1865. During this period, southern states decided from the Union and the slavery was abolished.
American Revolution. During the American Revolution, protests and boycotts of British goods was experienced in the 13 colonies, which eventually led to the armed rebellion in 1775. The war pitted the Patriots, aka the rebels, and their pro-independence forces against the forces of the British Crown. This conflict was the first American Civil War.
Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, China and the Soviet Union intended to spread communism form of governance. Eventually, the US entered Vietnam and stopped them, instead pushing for a democratic system of governance. Approximately 2 million people died as a result.
The Korean War. The Korean War began in 1950 and ended in 1953. The peninsula was divided after World War II into a region back north, the People's Democratic Republic, and the American back south. The Republic of Korea. Each claimed the right to the other half in an effort to unify both. The division was the result of the occupation of Korea by the communists after the end of the war.
Iraq War. The Iraq War was happened when President George Bush gave the orders to invade Iraq because it was believed that Saddam Hussein was hiding weapons of mass destruction. When no weapons were found, the reason given for staying there was to liberate for the Iraqi people from Hussein and his government.
The French Revolution. The French Revolution lasted from 1789 to 1790. The French Revolution represents a major shift in European and world history. It is when King Louis was overthrown by the people and power taken from the monarchy and given to the public. After the French Revolution, a government was put in place and the French monarchy was done away with.
Now we're going to talk about a very famous person and a Nobel Peace Prize winner. His name is Nelson Mandela!
Nelson Mandela was born July 18th, 1918 in the village Meso and he died December 5th, 2013 in Johannesburg. He was South Africa's first black president. He was president from 1994 to 1999, and he was the country's first president elected in free elections among its citizens. Before he became president, he had for years been one of the leading anti-apartheid activists in the country and had been imprisoned for 27 years, much of the time on Robben Island.
And now we're going to talk about the prison and the famous island, Robben Island! Robben Island is internationally known for the fact that Nobel laureate and former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, was imprisoned on Robben Island for 18 of the 27 years he served behind the bars before the fall of the apartheid.